Oh, I was not quite sure what band I'm on, bandwidth I'm on. Let's see. I'm sitting here in my car. Let me see what banners I have. Uh, Black Miss Louise Cutler. There we go. Louise Cutler Studio. Headed to my studio because I haven't made it in there yet. Da da da. Pulling into my studio. Thanks for the travel. We're traveling to my studio. Oh, let's see which branding we have here. Let's do some Louise Color Studio branding. Put that up. Da-da-da. And we are now in Louise Color Studio. Just made it. Just made it. We're on a nice drive. Whose is that? Headed up to the studio. Oh, is it? All right, let's head up. I'm headed up to the studio. Headed up to the studio. Hopping out of the car. Headed up to the studio, and we've got some work to do. Got some work to do. Looking at my nose. Let's look at this way. Hey, I'm outside. Outside of my studio. We're headed up to the studio now. I know, ran behind. Took an outing. It's gonna be like spinning because I'm not in the studio. There we go. Let me take my shoes off too. I gotta take my shoes off. We're headed up to my studio. We just came out of the garage. Give me a second. I'm gonna take my shoes off because I don't want to walk through the house with these shoes on because it's snowy outside and wet. So let's head up to the studio. And then we'll swap this out for something else instead of just my phone. Swapping out. Philip. Oh, heading upstairs. Were you any assistants up here? Studio. Here we are. Hey, how's it going? So we're gonna hop on because we're on creative quarantine on another one, but we're gonna do some work here on this one. So let me check this out. And I tell you, so give me 1 second and I will be, let me set you up over here. And then I'll spin you around. There we go. All right, welcome to the studio. I know you're on my phone. Welcome to the studio. Woo. I'm gonna get out of this coat and we're gonna do some artwork as well. So I'm gonna hop on over here to this other. I'm gonna pop over here. So I'm gonna bring you over here so you can watch some of what I'm doing because I am working on this computer as well. All right, let's see. All right, let's find out what's going on. I'll be right back with you guys. I'm gonna find out what's going on here. All right. All right. So this is create quarantine. We're gonna remove it and then we're gonna reestablish it. All right, let's put that back. And we're gonna reestablish that connection. All right, let's reestablish this connection. We're gonna reestablish some connections here is what we're gonna do. There we go. We're reestablishing connections on this.
But then after that, I also put a line on this because this is going to be where.
This is one of the other artists that is part of Creative Quarantine, and she's doing some work too. And so basically, what I'm doing is reestablishing connections that have gone off, and I'm coming back and putting them back on. To delete the stream on Facebook, you'll need to go to Facebook and delete the stream there. Okay, this is this one. Okay, all right. So that won't let me remove it and reestablish the connection. This one won't either. So these two are missing. So now I'm going to go and reestablish the connections on these.
This also tells me what I'm doing with my pieces by week.
And then we're going to do some work in a minute. So let's go to here.
Clay shrinks. So it's going to shrink by 10%. Then it shrinks a little bit more.
What works?
And when that happens, it shrinks down to.
All right. So I'm almost done with the reestablishing connections. So I got one more connection to reestablish, and then we're going to do some art. So give me 1 second. So, here, let you guys see. This is actually what I'm doing. I'm actually working here because I am also helping with all of the technical parts of Creative Quarantine group. So that's what I'm doing right now. And I just need to go here and reestablish the connection here because this one went off. This connection disconnected. I have no idea why, but we're going to reestablish this connection. And I'm not sure if it disconnected because of what was on it. So I'm going to find out why it disconnected.
So these aren't painted on. These are actually made. So you have to be pretty precise with your measurements because if they're not precise, then they will actually not turn out.
Because I think this one, it's already disconnected. Your video is partially muted. Got that. So that one is already off.
Other things that I do, I have things all over the place, but I did before we did have the quarantine purge. So a lot of stuff goes under what I call memory tree, and I'll show you that as we take our journey.
So let me establish this on. Hey guys, I'm gonna put this on the right Wi-Fi because it's not on the right Wi-Fi right now. And that's why you're looking like that. But I'm gonna take you off of this network. So let's do that.
I have a commission that I'm working on, which is this piece. It's bone dry right now, but there are two different colors of clay. This color is actually a light brown clay. This color is actually an ebony tab. Now I made it as a jar of red because she wanted what they call a memory jar, and those are some things that I actually made. So once this is done, it will
Okay.
all
So we'll go back over there. But it's telling me I have to.
But the face is always going
Let me go back here.
And I like doing, black and brown.
This will not let me delete it.
Hues of
It won't let me delete it, so I'm gonna go try and delete it. So as you can see, I'm like doing other things, and I'm on. Hello, God bless you. Hey, thank you, and thank you. We're gonna be doing some actual artwork. This one right here, for some reason, went out, and so we're going to. We don't have to delete it from there. We're just going to remove it from this post, and then we're going to put it back on, and then we're going to remove this one from this post, and we're going to put that one back on, and then we're just going to save them both, and now, boom, they're all up and running. So that's a good thing. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
So
All right,
what you
cool.
saw me do,
Now we got
what
them
you saw
all
me
up
do
and
was the
going.
first stage, which is the throwing stage. This is where it's wet. You know, this is where most of the mistakes can happen. Then once it becomes greenware, and greenware means that it is at a point where you can carve on it, have handles, do different techniques and designs. You are at the point of you can put it back in the water, or you can go into what they call
Shoot, we're gonna put her name up,
force
but we're
fire
gonna
with this.
minimize it.
So that means that it's gone into the fire. It went up to 1900 degrees, and now it is a piece that is it rings. Okay, so it's very solid.
Okay, so now we can do some
So
more.
it will go in, and it can just kind of hang out there. But it will go into a second fire when I put what they call an iron oxide over top of it, so that the color can actually change
What I'm
this to
going to
ebony.
do
And it's
is
just a very
scroll
thin,
Karen's
watery
name
coat of
at the bottom.
iron oxide. And iron oxide is really just glorified rust. So once it goes in for the first fire, and it's come out, then it goes into the second fire. And so the second fire, I'm gonna go get a completed, not necessarily completed, but a piece that's more dark.
Show that. Show that. All right, there we go. All right, so here we go. We're gonna come over here because I'm in my studio and I'll be doing some work from my studio. And right now I'm working on my tiny camera. I'm working on my actual phone. I'm gonna get you hooked up on my other system, um, my computer over here. I'm gonna get you hooked. I'm gonna get hooked up on my computer, this computer, because I got some stuff over here that I'm gonna work on. So I'm gonna sign in on this computer. I know I have computers everywhere. I have computers everywhere. So this is my studio, and I'm glad to have you here, hanging out with me. And I'm going to do. Um, I'm gonna go ahead and sign into this computer right now. So let's do. Uh, mm, mm, mm. So I'm gonna sign on over here, and that's on Wi-Fi, so it's okay. So I'm gonna bring it up. That way I can be on this computer and not just on that computer. And then you can see what I'm doing over here because I have some pieces over here that I'm working on. So I'm gonna have you guys watch me work on these pieces over here. So let's go into here. So I'm gonna get here. Ta-da! You should be able to see me here. Hi. So I'm gonna click off the phone. Click it off the phone. Here we go. This is the one that we want. This is where I'm going to bring you guys.
So I like to small cut pieces.
I'm going to take this off.
Slow that down just a little bit more.
Ta! Hey guys. Yes, and that's the one that I knew. So that's on the phone. And now we're here on. There we go. This is the one that we want. This is where I'm going to bring you guys. So there we go.
So all I do is take my hand, and then I stick my hand
There. So
as far as I can go.
I'm going to get rid of this one.
And pull straight.
Hey guys. Yes, and that's the one that I knew. So that's on the phone. And now we're here on. There we go. This is the one that we want. This is where I'm going to bring you guys.
I'm gonna choke that in a little bit. When I say choke it in, because I want it to be a base, I want to make sure the lip is nice and small.
There. So I'm going to get rid of this one.
And pull straight.
Hey guys. Yes, and that's the one that I knew. So that's on the phone. And now we're here on. There we go. This is the one that we want. This is where I'm going to bring you guys. I had to clean out all of that. I know you guys got some ringing there, so all the ringing is gone. And let's get rid of that ringing too.
Memory still
all right.
remains.
So this is what I'm going to be working on, and I'm also going to be working on it in the creative quarantine when we move over to the creative quarantine. So just want to let you know that as well, so you'll be able to follow along on my creative quarantine page too. But this is one of the pieces that I'm going to be finishing up during the creative quarantine. And I'll be showing you some of the other things that I will be doing during the creative quarantine. But this right here is one of the pieces that I really want to work on and get finished, as well as this piece right here. So I have several pieces that I'm going to be working on.
So I'm just touching the walls to see how
and I'll bring over, this is my paint
I
stand.
can't do that, but I can go in and shape.
So this particular piece is actually, these pieces are actually going to be done in oil paint. So this is going to be done in oil paint. But I'm going to put some
right here is just a
metal
glorified
on here because I want to metal leaf her entire garment. So we're actually going to go in and do some metal leafing in here.
So it was
in all of this, but before I do that, I'm going to put colors inside. I'm actually going to put colors inside of here.
I could leave the base.
I'm going to do
just
tons of colors inside of there. And I'm going to let you guys watch me do a ton of colors. And I'm going to actually do a video. And so I'm going to set this up because I'm going to video me putting the colors in. And that way I'll have a video. I'll have a little video of me doing the colors as well. So that's what I'm going to do. So you'll get to see it and I'll video it. As a matter of fact, I'll bring it a little closer to what I'm doing because you're kind of far away. And I will put you on here, but it just fuzzes up everything. That sucks up everything. So I'm going to bring this to you. So I'm going to bring it closer. So I'm going to bring this up a little closer so you can see it and you can see what I'm doing. So hold on, let's bring this up some more. There we go. And then, like I said, you get the messy studio. I'm going to move some things over and move this over so we can bring our paint up closer. So this is all of my paint. This is my paint. And the other thing I do is move. It's like all these things I have to move around in my studio. There we go. Because I want to bring this over because I'm going to be videoing some of this work. So there we go. I'm going to video some of this work. So, but you guys can see all of the different things that I'm doing. Oh, wow. What did she say? All who asked this project was open to spring. Oh, nice. Okay, and then we have nice.
Again, gonna go in and choke it.
So there we go. All right, I'm over there clicking buttons, clicking little buttons here and there. So we're gonna work on this piece right now.
Right, and I think that I'm probably added.
So because these are smaller small in here, this is what I'm going to actually be working on. I'm going to be working on all of these small little areas because I'm going to gild this entire thing. I'm going to do a metal leaf on this entire thing. And I'm not quite sure if I want to use some leather too. So I might be doing some leather on it as well. And hold on. I have to put on my little smock jacket because I don't want to get paint all over this. So I'm going to put this on. Ta-da! Put on my jacket. This is my work shirt. I have several work shirts, and this is one of my work shirts. So I'm going to actually start working on this piece. Okay, I think I'm putting my work shirt on wrong. My work shirt on wrong. So let's go that way. There we go.
So a lot of
now we got a work shirt on.
These are tools that are here.
So there we go.
But some of these
and I'm gonna turn this on because we're gonna do some recording.
To Ghana or Senegal.
I'm gonna do some recording here.
When I'm there,
so I'm gonna be doing some recording of what I'm doing.
How to create an item or how to
as I work on this piece. So I'm gonna record as I work on this piece as well.
How far you can actually stretch yourself.
We'll do some recording. All right. So now I just need to find what brush I want to use. And so I'm going to use a smaller brush, something similar to this. And this one, I can see this one. This one has not. This one has not been open.
How we connect.
And I think it just got like, I'm going to look at how to get that off. And that's because it's been on there way too long. So we're going to go with this brush because that's been on way too long and it doesn't want to come off. It's like, I don't want to come off. So I'm going to bring this over just a little bit. And since I'm working on here, I'm going to bring my paint up. I'll bring my little paint thing up here. And you can see all this paint, it's all dry because I didn't paint. But if you pick it up from underneath, you'll find some that isn't quite dry. So what we're going to do, and that's the beauty of oil paint, is that it does not dry like other stuff. And then look at my medium. If I take the skin off, my medium is still some good. That's what I love about oil paint. Take the skin off, the medium's still good. Still good medium. So I'm going to move my light this way a little bit so I can have some light on me. So here we go.
In the water.
And I'm going to, what I want to do is I want to do really bright colors because for me, this particular person, even though she is the mother of all, the reason why she's the mother of all is because of all of these beautiful bright colors that she possessed on the inside of her person, her body, who she is. She just exudes beauty and just colors. And so I want to go in and do some pretty magnificent colors on her. And that's basically what I'm going to do is go for some of these turquoises and greens and golds and things like that. So I'm going to go through here and look, and some yellows because I really like the yellows. And so this right here is a medium that I'm using. And this medium, it allows my oil to dry a little quicker than it would usually. So I'm going to go in and yes, it's going to take a minute to do all of these.
Right now.
So it's going to take a minute to do all of these. And I'm just going to go and like just a random pattern. I'm not going to, I don't want to do it where I'm just going to do some random patterns because I'm not looking for it to be
so I'll think about what I'm going to do
a certain way. So I'm just going to look to do some random patterns. I don't want to see. Can you see? I want to try to do it where you guys can actually see the colors coming in. So I'm just going to different ones and putting in color. So let's see.
But I have to always do
I'm
the
going to see if
setup
I can bring that a
first
little closer.
before
It might be
the rest of
easier.
it comes
Hold on,
in.
I'm going to switch
So
the
I do a lot of
camera
photographs of the work
because
that I did
sometimes
today.
this camera is so bright
I know
that
I'm doing
it doesn't
tomorrow.
necessarily capture things,
Okay.
the colors. Let's
And
see.
so
Let's see if this camera works
right
a little
now,
differently and see if it captures some of the
I'm just
color.
gonna open this up
And
farther
let's
because I think
move
that's
this
where her
over a little bit
her neck.
because it might be washing the colors that I'm putting on out. So I don't know if you'll be able to see the colors when I put this because I am
Okay,
using
and
a
so
yellow.
For this piece,
So yellow might
when
be
it's,
a
actually where it's supposed to be as far as
little
drying,
light
I am
for you to
actually going
see. And I'm trying to see,
create
I mean, because I don't even think you
neck.
can see it on
and I have
here.
to sculpt
Let's
that
see,
out
can you
into
see the
this
yellow
right here.
I'm putting in?
And this area right
Barely,
here
you can
is
barely
sort
see
of,
the yellow I'm putting in. So,
and
but
then I'll
we're gonna
probably
keep
tell
on
you
putting the
exactly
yellow in.
what direction I'm going to
And I'm gonna
but
put this over here. I'm gonna sit this back over here so that I can
play
finish
is
recording
actually
because
easier
the
now.
recording actually will go
And
to my
this is,
other,
very masculine. This is very
to
female.
the
It's
other
very delicate.
studio
So I am
for the other
when
creative
I'm working
quarantine.
with things
So
like this, I also pay
I'm gonna
attention
keep
to the
putting
color
in
that I may
color.
be using. So
I'm just gonna
with
go
that being said,
randomly put in
probably
different colors.
somewhere
There
it
we go.
has
I
some
think you
type
can
of
still you can
turquoise.
kind of see them in there. Because all of these will have like just different random colors in it. And I'm trying it not to be so hot. And it's really hot on this side. So let me move this camera. I'm gonna, you know what? I think I'm gonna turn that light out, and then now you can see the colors a little bit. We'll turn that light back on in a little bit. So I'm gonna turn that light off, and then because I want you to be able to see where I'm adding color.
So that I can actually run tests on that. 1, 2.
This just went out. Oh, it went out because I wasn't recording. So as you can see, I'm just putting in random yellow colors because I want to. And then after I put in all of the different colors, I'm going to gild this whole thing. I'm going to gild this whole garment here. So I'm going to keep going. And this particular piece is one that I've been wanting to finish but hadn't. So I'm glad you're here to watch me work on it. To watch me work on a piece that I really, really want to get done.
And that's the beautiful thing about
so
clay.
As you can see, I'm just going in with all of these yellow, and I'm just randomly putting in the yellow because I don't want it to be like, oh, okay, you meant to do that. No, I don't want to do like a meant to do pattern on any of it. I mean, some of it'll look like I meant to do it, but I don't want to do a meant to do pattern. I want it to feel very airy and very random.
Hello?
So
this is one piece that has been done.
Okay, hold on.
One piece. Here you are.
Give me 1 second.
All right. So there you have it. So I'm going to go ahead and do another one in the same form, but I think that being that it's the same amount of clay, I'm going to just do them a little bit taller, but just a different shape, so that they can be
okay. Give me 1 second.
In the same family, but so same situation. That tile and the wheel head with the clay.
You're doing wonderful, Karen. Karen is doing wonderful. New comments. I'm posting comments on as well.
So everything is going in the same direction. I'm just going to open up the clay very small.
So I'm still over here making stuff. All right, I'm going to scoot this over because I want to do some red too. I want to put some red on. So I'm going to put a little red on here as well because I want to add some red because this is a really neat piece to add red to. This is a nice piece to add red to.
Some. you know, so I'm working
I'm
usually
gonna
on
do
2
a
or
little
3
more
pieces
yellow
at
here.
one time.
I'm gonna do yellow in the circle ones. And so
So I'm gonna go in and compress that rim.
actually,
I'm gonna go ahead and start to choke that piece.
I do
because
see a
that's gonna be the
pattern
next
emerging. That's the beauty of
Press
it.
the rim.
I do see a pattern emerging, and I think I'm just gonna flow with it. Like I said, these things they have a mind of their own. And so I'm just gonna go and flow with
and
the
then
mindset of the piece. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna flow with whatever the piece is doing. Because sometimes these pieces have a mind of their own, and it doesn't matter what or how I feel about it, it's gonna do
Choke that in
its own thing. It's gonna do its own thing. So I'm gonna go this way, and then we're gonna add some red
Remove
to
the
it.
water from the piece because typically you're not going to go back down there but so many times.
And we're gonna add some red to it. And we're gonna let it do its own thing. I think it's there.
I'm just gonna
And so now we're gonna get some red over here. And yeah, I'm just gonna stick it in there. Put it in like that. And then we're gonna do some red in here because I like that. I'm just gonna add some red there and add the red there. And we're just gonna keep adding color. We're just gonna keep adding color until we have what we really want.
Slow that down a little bit more. Yeah. You know, and as a sidebar, I hope that if you guys have any questions, please make sure that you ask me because I can break it down for you even more.
Here we go. I like that. I like that. Let's see.
Because this is a long journey. I've been actually doing this for actually 23 years now. 23. And so my background is actually culinary arts. And so when I was creating pies,
I'm gonna have some of this. This is it.
I thought that I was just going to do amazing
I'm gonna have another
parties,
piece.
you know, to have people over.
Another piece of chocolate.
Good food and
I know.
you know, and desserts.
We're gonna come over here. Add some
To
red.
create. And
I like that.
I still don't
I
have.
like how I put that yellow on there.
In my home.
I'm just gonna kind of go. I'm going with the flow.
I do have a play set. Let's rewind. I have a play set, but I don't have a matching play set.
I'm just going with the flow. Let it do what it do. I'm just gonna let it do what it do.
So if you see the neck where it is, it's lopsided. That's from me pulling, but also this actually does the tilting of the head, how it pivots. So this one, the one I made first, her head is upright. Her head is actually going to be slanted back. So I'll just chill that out for a little bit. And so I'm going to go ahead and start doing the final cleanup for this one as well.
I still like want to do random because I just feel like random is good. I don't know if I want to be.
Yeah, I'm going to slow my wheel down just a little bit.
I'll see if I don't want to do random or if I want to do random. We'll see. We're still in the midst of what do we want to do? Do we want to do random or do we not want to do random?
And so this is what I typically stand when I throw, but when I have to do smaller pieces, I need to get down.
I can't wait to add the metal leaf to this. Can't wait to add the metal leaf to this. This is gonna be fun. I'm gonna put another light on me because I know. Oh, where is it? There it is. This is such a hot light. but it'll light up that space a little bit more. That's much better. So you can see how the dots are looking and how it looks. It actually looks pretty good. I like it. And the light like pops it out. So I love that about that. So I'm gonna have another piece of my pretzel, chocolate covered pretzel. So you guys stay right there. I'm gonna bring this over. I'm gonna bring this over. And I'm gonna bring this over. So that we're all chatting together while I'm working. And I'm gonna grab this. I have to be ambidextrous. I have to work in 2 different zones. Okay, but I'm sitting here having to work in 2 different zones from 2 different computers. And so just to let you know,
I'm just gonna clean this top.
I'm working from 2 different computers with 2 different mices, and you get to look up my nose, right? Because I'm helping over here. So there we go. So when she's ready to stop, I want you guys to head over to our other site because we have 2 sites and we're working off of 2 sites. There I am. There.
All right. Cleaning up the inside of that.
Oh, didn't realize I was live. There we go.
Lip of that.
I don't want to.
And now it
I
is
was
done.
talking on both of them.
I have one more.
Don't do that. I'm going to move this back.
Good.
Actually, I'm going to move this back.
And then I'll just go on to the next thing. So, and then I'll look at them to see which ones I like the best or if I like all of them. But they were all actually retouched or worked in some fashion.
Do some time lapse.
So, but for right now, this is what they are until they become dry enough for me to what they call trim.
So we're going to keep working. And I push that back because this is much better. I don't want to have it that close.
Cleaning the base of that so the air can actually loop around that so that
I'm
it
going
can
to put
dry.
some glue in here.
And so today I don't even actually have to cover these with plastic because it is so humid outside that all they're going to do is slowly dry. But here's another one. And so I'm excited about you guys seeing those unfold and dealing with the bodies on that. Those are going to be really, really fun to do. And so sometimes the idea just unfolds when I'm working, when I'm creating. And so
I
that's
put a little yellow in there, but now I'm changing it because I don't like that yellow.
And so, and I'll put some texture on them. And they'll be it'll be a lot of things because I do a lot of parts to some of the pieces. So I throw, hand build, sculpt, carve, textured pieces. They all have an element of some sort on the pieces.
Yes.
All right. Opening up the next piece. A lot of people say when I throw, when I'm live on Facebook, it makes them fall asleep. So I hope that nobody's sleeping right now. I hope that it is relaxing them.
So, let's see. I like that.
I'm looking at the other pieces.
I'm gonna bring this over so I clean my brush out.
I'm looking at the other pieces to see what's going on with this piece, where it will go.
So this is where I clean my brush out. I do use all non-toxic things. Everything that I use in my studio, for the most part, is non-toxic because I don't want the toxicity, and I don't want to use. I got red on there because I was dipping the red in here as well. And then move another spot.
It's hard to fall asleep on you. I'm sitting here watching you just pull those things up like it's nothing, You are the bomb. You are the bomb.
Thank you. It is always an amazing journey to see what unfolds when you're creating. So when I was making these, I didn't have any intentions of making these vases. And then when I looked at the vases in the body, they're delicate. And then I saw a female body on these pieces. And so now it's just trying to figure out what direction they will go in. Because I like to tell stories with the clay without having the book. You can actually just read the story around the dimensions of the piece. So it's always exciting.
Well, we got 4 artists in the queue, so I'm just going to bring a couple of them in so they can say hello. We can get lined up for Mr. LaShawn Beal.
Hey.
I
can't hear it, but
hello, Mr. McAlpine.
Hi there.
How are you?
Good. I'm enjoying watching Karen. I love it. It is relaxing.
Thank you.
It is relaxing. How's everybody doing on day 1? How is everybody doing on day 1? I'm good.
I know. Let me tell you, I had my smoothie this morning. You know, look.
I know the coffee. She got her coffee in her plastic container with all those beautiful mugs in her.
She's got that plastic container again, I see.
I guess that's like the thing where the mechanic has the worst looking car.
Hey! That's right. Yeah.
Well, everybody's in the studios working. We've been working very organically with the schedule today, but we got a lot of people in. I'm going to get ready to get a floor to Mr. LaShawn Beal for a little bit. And then we got Lorraine McAlpine coming right behind him. So y'all can all stay in the queue or just check things out. And we'll let LaShawn get in. Karen, thank you. We're looking forward to what you have to offer tomorrow.
Yeah, Karen had some pretty amazing stuff today. I really enjoyed it. I know I got in late, but Karen, you are the bomb.com.
Thank you. I almost called you when you were at 12 degrees. All right, so y'all. What is it, 21 now?
Karen.
Well, you know, Colorado's got the real weather out of the group of people on the screen right now.
Hey, you know what? It is beautiful outside, and I'm grateful. Pancho let me take a little bit of a stroll outside today. But everything is back up and running, Pancho.
You see how she said that? Like I got her chained to her.
He does. He really does. So I'm grateful. But sure enough, when I leave out, we get some technical difficulties, but they are up and going now.
We had a few, but that's okay. We've been making it around it so far. So we're going to get ready to give the floor to Mr. LaShawn Beal for a little bit.
All right.
We'll check you out tomorrow.
All right. See you later, guys.
Take care.
All right, Karen. Take care.
Thank you.
Hey, everybody. My camera's angled really low because I'm working on some sketches right now. It is day 2 on. I had to send a lot of pieces out to various artists for our collaboration. So today, I'm dedicating this day to really just knock out the sketches, all that stuff. And what I'm doing right now is I'm working on paper. And this is the paper. It's actually paper with fabric adhered to it to give it some texture, unique textures. And so I've been working on a whole stack of drawings here. And you can see this upside down, but these are like a lot of flowers, different flowers here.
All right, I'm back
and
over.
More of these, lilies.
Hey, guys.
And then some of my faces as well.
Hold on, let me turn this off real quick.
For the various pieces that go to the different artists. So basically, I'm going to continue
So
on
let
with
me
this.
come out over
I'm
here.
working
I'm working
on
on a piece, and every now and then I do step away because I'm also helping out in the creative quarantine in our other section. So I'm gonna clean my brush out.
And sketching the images out with
I'm gonna turn this back on.
white chalk pencil. Is a great contrast to the black. It allows me to.
I'm doing some I got like some serious shadows happening here
Get that all
because of how I'm painting. So
what I'm working on.
I'm gonna do some yellow.
Again,
coming back in with some yellow because I want
and
some
not only
yellow
I'll be
in
working on
these
the paper,
spaces.
but also I'll be
So I'm
doing
gonna
a few
come back in with
charges.
some
Yes,
yellow
some of
because
the
I want
artists
yellow
will
over here.
be getting some of these as well to do some.
So you can see I'm just kind of doing this weird pattern
this is
of
really,
color.
really good warm-up project for me.
And we'll see if I like it. We'll see if I like it. You let me know if you guys like it. You can comment. Let me know if you like it. Or is it like,
get my
maybe
ideas
not.
out from my
Maybe
head
not.
and
So
make some progress at the same time.
let's get in
I'm
here.
very
I'm gonna keep working.
almost
And like I said, you are now in my studio, and this is where I'll be working on things for the entire month. So every day I will be live working on artwork in my studio for the entire month of January. So getting things done, and it'll be different things. So it won't always be this. It'll be different things every time.
But the finish.
Well, maybe not every time until I finish certain things up. So this is a piece that I want to finish up.
A little different.
And so that's one of the reasons why this is perfect for me to work on this particular piece, because it gives me an opportunity to finish up something that I've been wanting to finish up for a while.
Pastel.
And I started working on this piece.
A line sketch.
What was it?
They're all going to be
clearly before Christmas, but
so
just
this can be considered
ran out of time. Just did not have time to complete it, and so creative quarantine works great for me to be able to complete this stuff. So we're gonna switch colors again. We're gonna switch out our colors because I want to use a different color. And actually, I'm gonna go for some blue because I really like this orange and yellow and things like that are on here. But I'm gonna do some blue because I like blue as well.
And I hope you guys can see this.
So I'm gonna bring some blue in.
I don't know how.
I bring some blue in, and I don't know if you can see my palette. It looks like you can see my palette a little bit.
Point your camera down a little bit more if you can.
You can see my palette a little bit.
Artwork.
There you go.
And
let me bring it on.
So we're gonna.
So I can bring it on down here.
Do a little bit more of this. I'm gonna use.
And kill your music so you won't get any echo.
We're gonna add some of this to it. That way I don't have to keep sticking. I don't have to keep sticking the in it. I'm gonna light that up just a little bit so you can see me. So you can see me. Oh, yes, you want to see me, right? Yes, you want to see me. So there we go.
And this particular way of drawing is
now I'm
something
gonna come in
that
because I don't want this red, and I'm probably gonna just go over that again. So I'm gonna come into these with the blue.
In his studio, when we get together
in here. And like I said, when I'm done with all of this, I will be using sketches. And this is going to be great texture. This is going to be great texture. So
Pancho, you see some of the stuff that's about to come your way.
So this is going to be a great texture. I'm sorry, I'm in front of the camera now because I'm reaching over there.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm actually cheating a little bit, so I get a preview of what you're getting ready to send. I'm already picking out my color. If I can see, yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm gonna have fun with that.
Yeah. These will be some fun pieces, and
I'm over here peeking at the other one, seeing what LaShawn is doing.
Particularly like the jewelers, some of the artists that are working in clay, how they would come in and incorporate this into what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And going over.
Well, it's looking fantastic, man.
Thank you. So
because I'm gonna add
this
lots
will
of different
be
colors to
what
this.
I'll be up to for the next few hours. And then I'll get down and start breaking out paints and all the other goodies and getting these wrapped up so they can be shipped out in the next day or so.
So, like that. So, there we go.
So,
I really like having this
word of advice
right
to
across,
some
and I didn't
young
even intend to do that. I did not intend to do that at all. It just came out that way.
When you get
That's
when you
pretty
sit
cool.
down to like
So
and you don't know,
now I'm going to go
what to
because I think
do,
what I want to do is do
just
something
do
dark
work
coming
on
up.
something.
So I'm going to
Just
go
pick
and
up
get
the
like
pen,
a black or something because
pencil,
I think I want to do
brush,
something a
and
little
just
darker.
start
So
getting
right now I'm going to clean this brush.
You'll be surprised what comes out of
I'm cleaning
just
that brush
let
out.
your mind wander
And like I said, I just want to do some fun colors.
as you try
Some fun stuff with
unwind
this
and loosen
one.
up.
And that's the
Get
beauty
into
of
the
it. Let me
zone.
see, what is this? Is this black or not? Oh, that's a white.
You know, when I was younger, I had no problem getting into the zone at all. The
So
older I
this
get,
one
it's
is,
taking me a little longer.
this is a black.
What
I know.
about you,
It's like, I'm
Hunter?
like,
You find
this
it-
is a black.
that's
So,
the case or what?
all right, so we're going to do some black
man.
now.
It's always harder, but I think I compensate with technique.
And what you're hearing in the background is the other show that's going on. So you more than likely hear the other show in the background as well, because I'm also listening in to the other show
my
as
biggest
well.
enemy nowadays,
So-
Sean, is
I'm going to come over
I have
here
to regulate my sleep.
because I want to do
See, back
some
in the day,
black
man,
here.
when we used to get together, we could work around the clock, 24 hours,
So
back
I'm going
to
to add some
back,
black.
party.
And I want to put this right here. This is the stuff that helps the color dry quicker. And so I'm mixing that all
I
up
hear you on that, brother. I hear you on
together
that.
and the paint, so I don't have to keep sticking it in there, putting it in the color. So I'm doing that
You sound like a bunch of old people. I'm watching
as well.
Lorraine's face in the cube. Like,
So,
y'all don't know nothing about no age. I just turned 58. I think my
so
brother
I'm
has
gonna
got
put
me by a
some
couple
darker
months.
color in here.
Yeah.
But what I
I
will
wanna
tell
do
you is
a
that we've been
darker
doing this
color.
professionally for 40 years
Yeah.
now. That tells you just how hard we've been grinding. I can remember back in the day with me and LaShawn when he was in Baltimore for a brief period. I can't imagine the amount of energy we were running on back then, man.
I know. It was wild. It was wild. And I say this to younger artists, you know, use it while you got it, because eventually.
You know what, LaShawn? You know what I figured out? These guys don't have any energy. I know I'm making a real broad statement with the younger artists. You guys really need to understand.
So here we go. I'm trying to do, it's like, I know it's a lot of conversation in the background, isn't it?
You
Which
guys
is
have
great,
phones.
because you guys are
You
getting to
guys
hear
paint 20
some of
paintings a
the
year.
conversation
You guys are
from
socially conscious,
other-
brave,
other
but
part of the show,
disconnected.
which is nice.
And so
And
what I
I
advise artists is
intentionally
to
wanted
look
to
at
do
what
that,
you
so
see
you
LaShawn
can
doing.
hear
You see he's
conversation
doing
going on
stuff he done
from the
about
other
carbon
show
fiber
that
stuff, so
I'll be on that channel. I'll be on that at 4 o'clock. So, and I'm probably still going to be working on this particular piece because this is the piece I want to work on. I'll be working on
Yes,
this piece.
No, we got another artist in the room. I'm going to bring Lorraine in so she can ask you some questions about your process too.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, I do have a question. What is it that he's drawing on?
That's paper that's been painted black.
So it's regular mixed medium paper?
It's regular mixed media paper, and it has some fabric adhered to it. So the fabric is soaked in paint and placed on the paper, pressed to the paper.
I see.
And
Just
then you
to
let
give it
that
like
dry.
Oh,
Okay.
sorry.
And
nice.
what are you actually drawing with? What is that?
That's a white pencil. It looks like a charcoal pencil.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
a charcoal
oh,
pencil.
I thought it
It's
was
white
some kind of
charcoal.
Oh, okay.
And I actually use white Prismacolor pencils. Me and LaShawn work similarly. Like the way he's working now is the way I normally work. I use a Prismacolor white pencil to do my outlines with. I use black gesso a lot. As a matter of fact, I actually paint with gesso too. So a lot of times where most people will use black paint, I use black gesso because it gives me just another whole level of dimension I can work with.
I see.
Yeah. And for me, Lorraine, I've used house paint. I go and I buy a gallon of flat black. Onyx is the color. Black onyx.
Hey, LaShawn, we got a question from somebody in the audience, Mr. Arthur Lovely from Baltimore. My man, how you doing out there, Arthur? He's asking, are the papers treated or painted?
Are they
treated or painted?
The paper is painted.
Mm-hmm.
You just straight up paint the paper, add the fabric to it, and then go back to start doing wherever you're gonna do from that standpoint. And you're gonna see a lot of different. I'm gonna use a lot of different techniques in these.
I'm going to get another.
I'm just concentrating on getting the sketches knocked out. I'll work like an assembly line. You see me going one to the other, one to the other, one to the other. I'll be doing that all the time.
Mm-hmm.
This one.
Yes.
And I'm working similarly too. I'm making sure I'm working on more than one piece at a time. The technique that I'm doing, if you saw the show earlier, is a similar technique to what LaShawn is doing now. But I use more textured papers, and I'm dry brushing, which I'm sure LaShawn is going to do a lot of in his presentation.
Yes. Yes.
So we're going to give you back this screen
so
and then we'll switch back to Lorraine in a little bit. How much more time do you think you need, LaShawn?
Oh, as much or little as you need me to have.
Well, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to keep you in the queue. You keep on drawing. I'm going to let Lorraine do her presentation. We're going to come back and see where you are. You'll probably be on drawing number 100 by time. For sure. Yeah. All right.
All right, Lorraine.
I gotta keep on painting so you guys can
see. All right, Lorraine, we're going to give you the floor. Now you can wait patiently in the studio to do your presentation. I want to get to you while all our tech is running smoothly.
Okay, so I'm not painting or drawing today, but I can tell you where I am, and I will be painting tomorrow. But really, my presentation starts with my New Year's resolution. New Year's Eve, I was watching CNN, and they had Snoop Dogg on there. And he's got this new show called Go Big. And I said, you know what, that's it. That's what I need to do this year. 2021, I need to go big and change my whole strategy for the creative quarantine. So I started with this painting that I did yesterday. I don't know if you could see it, but it's an abstract, and it's called Lipstick. And I said, you know what? I really like it. It's where you can get stock, stock photography. So black and white stock photography. I drew this myself. I didn't trace it or anything. And tomorrow I'll finish the finished painting. But that's usually how I start, is with an underpainting. And then I did yesterday, I don't know if you can see this. This is called hydrangeas. And I did it from hydrangeas that I had in my studio. Can you see that? I think you can. So everything that I do, I try to use really big brushes. So I don't spend a lot of time with the drawing.
All right, let's finish this up.
Sorry. But I use 1-inch brushes, 2-inch brushes.
Let's work some more over here.
And tomorrow, when I actually start on that big canvas, I'll be using 3-inch brushes and 2-inch brushes.
Two.
So
We're
The
gonna
other
do a
thing
different
that,
camera
you know,
next
this
time.
whole thing
We'll
was
get a
being in
different
small
angle
pieces,
and what
I
I'm
was only
doing.
gonna do 12 by 12.
But today, this is the
project
angle we
for
have.
the quarantine. I realized I really have to step outside of myself and do something totally different. So I'm gonna start with a big canvas.
This one I'm
And
gonna change the
basically,
color too.
You know, go big or go home.
And we got some
One
blue.
of the things that I wanted to say, so I have a really short presentation, is there's a friend of mine from Hartford, Connecticut called Jonathan Bruce. You may know him. Years ago, he told me, he said, you know, Lorraine, I buy a painting once a year. I save my money and I buy a painting by a Black artist every single year. And so I started doing that. He has an incredible collection of art. And I started every year buying a piece. And I really started from the Puck Building. And I think I heard Larry say something about the New York Art Exhibit. But I used to go to that for the Black Fine Art Show and buy paintings.
I know, I'm eating these.
It's important for us to really support each other and support Black art. This is a painting in back of me that I bought in that show. So anyway, basically that's all I really have to say. Tomorrow I will be painting. I don't know if we're going to stream tomorrow, but I will be painting. So that's it.
Well, you know, we'll be painting every day and we'll be posting every day. And so you can start working and getting us some photos of you actually working. Maybe you could do a live where we can see you actually working on pieces. This is a real prep couple of days for everybody else. You know, everybody's trying to get their free pieces laid down and started. And you see LaShawn, he's actually doing some stuff. So we'll look forward to seeing you tomorrow and see what you have to offer.
Perfect. Okay. Thank you. Have a good evening. Bye-bye.
All right, Lorraine.
So we're going to get back in here. We're going to return to LaShawn Beal. Hopefully he's still doing his thing. LaShawn, how you holding up, man?
I'm holding, brother. You know, I'm a soldier.
Which number is that?
Oh my goodness, this must be this has got to be about 23 or so.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm just having fun with it. You know, I'm just having fun with it. No
So
pressure. It's just.
Now, you know, we when we do collaborations, we there's a starter and there's somebody that finishes. So are you going to start some and finish some? How are you planning to distribute those?
I hope he's sending me one.
Well, I was going to send Louise one, but I don't think I am. But I'm starting them, and I'm starting all these, and then I'm sending them to the people, and they go in and they just get their inspiration and hook it on up.
Let's do some more painting.
Yeah.
All right, so I've added the greens, the reds, and all that kind of stuff. I can't wait till this dries so that I can add the metal to it. That's what I'm looking at. So I'm going to add a little green.
Yeah, I'm gonna send you a couple like we've done it before on some of the papers.
I'm going to put some green in this.
And put a couple figures on.
I want to put some green in here. And I got this Rumbacher.
Super.
Really neat Rumbacher set.
And, you know, I want to bring something up. Whenever I go to Baltimore, we'll get together and we'll knock out.
I'm going to use a nice Viridian.
We'll
Viridian. I know I got a lot of shadows happening. I don't like that.
That is one of the greatest practices an artist can do. Is definitely concentrate on working on your pencil skills, sketching stuff out. And if you can do something where you can work with another artist and collaborate, even better, because it just motivates you, takes your creativity to a whole nother level.
Get another light.
And I'm sure Pancho has done this with many artists. I've only done it with a few.
Oh yeah, over the years I've done them with upwards of 20 artists. Because the collaboration really is prime for something like that.
There we go.
So I see we run into a little bit of a technical situation with LaShawn Beal. We want to keep him in the studio and check back in with him. We got my man Frankie Barrero getting ready to log in. So How you holding up, LaShawn?
I'm holding up, P. I'm holding up.
Hey, let me ask you this, man. Have you done an overnighter yet?
No, I have not. No,
All right.
I probably won't get it to the overnighter till sometime during the week.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you can stay in the queue as long as you want, Mr. LaShawn. We'll bring you back in so folks can see what you're doing. I'm going to get ready to pull Frankie Barrero into the studio so he can do a little bit of presentation. So,
Sounds good.
are you ready, Frankie?
Hey, Frankie.
I'm more than ready. How y'all doing?
We're doing
Doing
good.
great.
We've just been on all day showing people our setup. Everybody's been working and trying to get together. So what I want to tell you guys is that with this StreamYard, we want to try to be careful about us talking at the same time. So because the sound can get kind of loud. But Frankie, we're going to turn it over to you for a little bit, man. You can go ahead and give your presentation and let folks see what you're working on in your studio.
All right. I'm actually on my phone. I tried to log on through a link. I've been on since 4:45.
We won't talk about that right now because the public doesn't need to hear what you've been going through. We are here now to talk live about your work.
Oh yeah. I went this morning, grabbed some art, went shopping, did a little. Grab some stuff here, and let me see if I can show you real quick. I haven't started anything. I have to sketch it out first.
Hey, Frankie, you might need to turn your music off in the background too.
Oh, you can hear that? My bad.
There you go.
Okay, sorry. I always have that on. I don't even notice it. But I haven't started yet. Let me see if I can.
All right. Come back over here. I'm going to move that.
Give me
I wanna-
one second. I'm so
Hey.
sorry about this. I want to
trying to get all of these different
but
elements
behind me,
of all of these different elements together. I think I
cameras
turned that down because I don't want to.
here, and it's
And
going to
then
be a
over here, I'm
reverse
gonna do
medium.
some
What I'm going to
green.
do, and
And I
I'll probably
really
do it.
like
I'm
this.
going to do
I
it right
love
now,
meridian
actually.
green. I love
I'm
this
going to sketch out.
meridian green. And I'm trying to, she's
You
gonna
get
have like
white
all the
pencil, like
different
with
colors
It's
because,
the same thing.
and the reason I want to give her all the
It's a
different
reverse
colors is because
medium,
she
and I
is
like
like
it
the
because
mother
it's-
earth, mother
it's
of
my
the universe.
favorite, actually.
And so she
Reverse
is the
medium,
mother of
white
all. And
pencil
so
on
for
black
me,
paper.
that means that
So, and I have
all
a
the
charcoal
colors,
pencil. And that's what I'm
she
going to do.
basically encompasses
I woke up
everything,
this morning
everything
with
that's
no
needed,
idea
everything
what
that's,
I'm gonna
and so I want to
no
try
idea
to
what I'm
put
gonna
all of the colors that I could
doing,
possibly
but
think
I just
of
knew I had to get some canvas.
in her
And
shawl.
one of
It's
the
because
things I
this is her
tell
shawl.
people,
So I want to use all the
there's a
colors
big
because the
difference
colors
between
represent
an artist and someone who likes to
all of
draw.
us, every
Because as an
every
artist, you feel
nationality,
this
every tribe,
necessity, like,
everything.
oh, damn, I
Because
have
for
to
me,
do this.
she represents
And
and
so I went
holds
through, I
within
caught a couple
her
buses, walked half a mile
every-
to get to where I needed
every
to go.
creation, every
And to
creature.
get
She
my art
represents
supply.
all of that. So that's one of the
Now,
things. That's why I'm putting all of these colors in her
Here.
shawl
But this is
because
what I'm
her
gonna do.
shawl
This is the
encompasses
black sketch.
everything.
If you don't mind,
So
I'm
that's
going
one of
to
the
be
reasons why I'm
sketching
trying to,
here.
I'm gonna put like all of these different colors in her shawl. And then this
So you
one,
guys
I'm gonna
can see
change
where
that
I'm
up just a
going
little
with
bit.
I'm
But
thinking
I
of
wanna make sure that her
my
shawl
native, my
encompasses
Puerto Rico,
all of these
and
colors.
an elderly man looking out of the window or something, kind of reminiscing of his time in the past. And like
Because
I
I
said,
feel like
it's-
her
it's
shawl
a
represents
reflection of the
everything.
long life. And that's
Everything
what I
that
want to
we-
show you
that we
really
are.
with the sketch I'm gonna do. Like, yeah. Okay. Y'all getting a good view of this? All right. And I'm going to use my charcoal pencils here. I wanted to show off the stipend. I want to give you guys a shout out. Creative Quarantine. I got this stipend. It was like Toys R Us for adults. So I went shopping and I bought a whole bunch of art stuff. Not as much because I'm on a bus, but just what I needed. And let me get going here. I don't know if y'all can see it, but oh well. And don't mind my dress, my outfit.
So what you hear in the background is the creative quarantine, which is nice to hear in the background. I think I'm going to do something a little different with these. And I don't want to do red because we already have red everywhere. So I'm going to go with something a little different. I think I'm going to go with I might go with a purplish color. So I'm trying to think of how I want to do that. I don't know if I want to do, I think I want to lighten up a purple. I want to make it more lavender-y as opposed to a dark purple. So I'm going to do that for that area. So I'm going to get me some white in here.
Yeah, I'm drawing the profile. And the reason I like to revert.
And this is why I like oil, because I can pick it up after it's dried out. And it's still good. It's still good. It's still some good. So that's what I'm going to do. And I'm just going to bring this just a little closer so you can get an idea of what all I'm doing. And then I'm going to take a little bit of this white because I don't have anything on this brush right now. And I don't want to dabble. I don't want to mix the white with anything else because you know that can happen. So I'm going to bring that white over here. And then I'm going to take a little bit of the purple, just a little bit, because trust me, a little goes a long way. And then I'm going to add some of this. The drying, I'm going to add some of the drying. So I'm going to add a little bit of that and more of that.
What I want to do at the same time is
so there we
have
go.
This guy reflect some kind of wisdom.
I'll do a little bit more of that. There we go.
Maybe I can see that.
And now I'm just adding more.
And this lets me know where
A
I'm
little
at.
bit more.
There
we go. All right, so I think I have the color I want. The nice thing is, if I don't, I can just go back in and swap it out.
I like to paint, but I'm not really a painter the way
So I'm gonna go and
people paint.
make that way because I want to do something that's gonna kind of stand out here. So that's why I'm doing this sort of lavender color because I want it to stand out. I want this color to stand out above all of the other colors. So that's why I'm going to do like this lavender color. There we go. And I'm going to do this whole thing in the lavender color. This whole thing here.
Drawing this man out. And when I'm done, I want this guy to identify with every elderly man there is. Whether you're from Puerto Rico,
so that's why I'm doing it that way.
Doesn't matter. What matters is that everybody can relate to this man.
So now we're going to do it over here too. So I think all of these are going to be a lavender color because then that's the uniformity. That's where the uniformity will come from, is that lavender color, just to kind of bring everything in with this lavender color. And I like using the lavender because it has the purple, which is all about royalty. And I'm probably going to go back into that and put in just a little hint of purple dots in there because I want to show that she is royal culture. She is a royal culture, a royal nation, because that's what I want to show about who she is. She's not just anybody. She's a royal blood, and so that's one of the things that I want to show about her is who she is. So when I'm here, I think we still see here.
bus ride because I watch people and it gives me time to think and reflect or whatever. So I enjoyed the trip to the store. And that's what I can't up with this guy.
I'm trying to go over this way so you can see and I'm not totally in your way. But I already know I'm in yours because I'm using the camera.
And what I do too when I'm on the bus, I put the phone down. And I just look at the area around, and I'm still in tourist mode up here in Springfield. And everything to me fascinates. So I talk to people, mingle. I look at the buildings around me, try to get ideas of that. You know, and
I'm gonna
it's
scoop this
kind
just
of
a little bit.
answering the question of if I had to write a book about my trip to the store, what would the story be like?
Just a little bit more.
Would it be just me going to the store and I'm done? Or would I have some kind of adventure or something to tell about the trip to the store?
Yeah.
And that's what I try to make the most out of everything, every situation.
This one is very. This
And
one's
I
very
don't know if y'all can
compressed.
see this.
This one is very compressed, but we can still.
Y'all see that?
Still working it. We're gonna still work it.
Oh yeah.
Do you see it? When I'm done here, it's gonna be an elderly man reflecting.
This one is.
Quite fascinating.
Huh?
Quite fascinating.
He's gonna be looking out of a window, reminiscing.
Oh yeah, that's nice. So is this a guy you actually saw on the bus or what?
No, I got the idea from a guy on the bus.
That's what I meant. Yeah, did you see? Okay, that's what I'm referring to. Yes.
Oh,
So
yeah.
that's great. Yeah.
Yeah, it was just.
And I'm
it
gonna
was
get
a
rid
guy
of that
looking out
one.
the window.
I want
And then
that
I'm thinking.
That's gonna be
what would
purple,
a good
too.
idea is draw a guy looking out the window, kind of reflecting on his life, his past.
Exactly. Yeah.
And that's why I am with this guy, he, this fictional character. But I want him to be more resembling a Eva or Maki.
I'm gonna do purple right in that center.
Yeah. And the biggest thing about it, you can have all the creativity in the world, but like LaShawn said, if you don't have that determination, that ambition to do these things, to walk half a mile, well, it was a mile, walk a mile to the bus stop in the cold, in the rain, to go get canvas, or do you just go to bed? Had I gone to bed, I'd wake up thinking, damn, what a waste of a day. I didn't do anything. I didn't get anything. Oh, well, I'll go tomorrow. And here we are, repeat. Repeat, what is it? Rinse, wash, repeat. So it'll be the same thing over and over again. And I'm one of those, like I said, it's philosophical where you just, it was Marcus Aurelius.
Right.
You think, you know what? I hate to do this, have to get up and have to do this, have to do that.
There's some
But
right there.
it's not going to get done until later on, it's still going to be there looking at me. So I might as well get it out of the way. And that's my logic with it. And that's why I'm enjoying my time here. Versus thinking, oh, I wish I would have gotten with a store. So are you ambitious enough? Are you motivated enough to do these things? It's easy to draw a picture. I could be wrong, but in my case, it's easy to draw a picture, and I know a lot of artists, but I also know them to be very lazy. Not a knock on arts, of course, but like I said, it's a motivation thing. That you can draw a picture, but are you ambitious enough? When my kids ask me, Daddy, can we go? I want to go to the library so bad. I ask them, how bad do you want to go? Would you be willing to walk a couple of miles to the library? Well, no, but you don't want to go back. And, you know, so I throw little things like that. And the reason I do that is because I've done that. I've walked a couple of miles just to go to the library to type a paper. So it's motivation. You can have all the talent in the world, but if you're not a grinder or someone who gets up in the morning and improvises, that's the hardest thing for me, Pancho, was it's funny because I'm so used to improvising. Where I would just, if I saw a piece of paper on the floor, I would draw on that paper. I would use, I don't know, ketchup, whatever, to do the picture. So when I go to the art store and they actually have things that assist you, I don't know what to buy because I'm so used to using, how do I put it, ghetto-fied tools, or you make your own stuff up.
Well, you know, I came from the same place, man. We didn't have a lot of things. And so what happens is that you learn how to improvise, use other materials. That's another thing that I think all of us artists have in common, depending on where you come from. I used to draw on brown paper. I used to draw on newspaper with type on it. You know, you just, it's a way of expression. Sometimes you go to these bigger museums and you see artwork still done that way even today by the big professionals making a couple $100,000.
Yeah, and I like to ask people too when it comes to that. It's not so much of course you put a dollar value on it, bills have to get paid. But I look at it, whenever I see superstars signing contracts, LeBron James, Michael Jordan, all these, would they still be playing basketball if they never signed a paycheck?
Mm-hmm.
They'd still be playing basketball because that's what they love to do. Mm-hmm. So I love doing this. I'm going to do it no matter what. Mm-hmm. And you almost feel a drive, a necessity to do it, mm-hmm. versus, oh, I have to draw.
Well, you know, I'm going to tell you something that I learned. I learned that we need to learn as creatives that this thing is not a light switch that we can do or not do. It's not an ability. It's actually a part of your personality. And what you're describing right now is something that's a part of your personality. And so what happens is we have been totally miseducated about what creativity is. And so you're right on the money with that, man. You would do it whether you were getting paid. You're driven and pulled to do it. But what happens when you realize it's actually an innate part of who you are?
And yeah, and when it comes to who I am, you're basically paying me to create. If that makes any sense. You're paying me to breathe because, and that's why it's so easy for me. Because I've tied it into therapy. I've tied it into a necessity. So whether I get paid or not on things, of course I'm paid, but whether I do or not, I'm still going to draw. This old man, I'm going to draw him regardless of whether I'm being watched or not. Why? Because he just popped in my head. He just showed up in my head, and he'll probably stay there until I'm done.
Right.
But it's an expression. And that's how I feel. It's an expression. Every day that I wake up, being disabled,
every day I wake up,
it's an incentive.
Sorry, guys. I'm going to put you back on here so you can see me.
You feel like
see
you
what
have
I'm doing.
purpose, or damn, I have to do this. So
I'm
every
going to
day
put them on that.
You know, for those of you that are viewing this show now and you're wondering where some of the stuff fits in, feel free to go to the Creative Quarantine Facebook page and the Art for the Soul Gallery Facebook page to see yesterday's show, which was an introduction show. All the artists came on, they gave you an introduction to who they are, what moves them, what their hope to achieve by doing this quarantine. So you can have a better overview. Today was everybody's first day of getting acclimated to their studios and getting started. So, you know, everybody's working. I'm gonna put a couple people on the screen, but they're working, so they're probably not going to talk. Louise is in her studio working. You've got Deborah Shedrick. She's getting ready. She's coming up next. LaShawn Beal is also in his studio. He's painting out some backgrounds, and I am painting on my table too. So, Frankie, how is that painted on black board?
This is a drawing board.
Okay.
It's regular drawing board. White chalkboard. No, people's teeth are mine. Probably can't see them yet. I don't know if y'all can see him yet, but it will be an old man with a beard looking out of a window.
Well, you know, it's always so great to see the before effects.
Yeah, it is. And when I show it, sometimes when I show a video of it, I'll show it in a 20-second snippet on that, but it cut it off so it doesn't let me really show anything.
Well, Frankie, we're going to tune back into you. You can stay in the queue and keep working, and we'll come back and show the audience what you're working on the stage that you're in on your second stage. We want to introduce Mr. Boris Shedrick out of Montgomery, Alabama, so she can do a little presentation. And Frankie, we'll swing right back to you to check and see what you're doing.
All right.
Sounds good, my friend. Hello, Deborah. How are you?
I'm good. You hear me?
Good. We're just checking to make sure your tech is running okay.
I hope so.
Well, it's time. You have the floor. You have the floor. Go ahead and do your thing.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
You can hear me.
You just do your presentation, Carl.
Okay. So yesterday when I was on, I didn't have my pieces ready to mail out, but I worked on some. So these are for the artists in the quarantine. I worked on some abstracts, so I'll be putting them in the mail either Monday or Tuesday. So this is my process of how I start my work. So I take a plain piece of paper and I use my palette knives and I just cover the whole piece with color. I have my plate acrylic paints, Liquitex and Golden is my favorite brand, and I'll show you my table. Is that down enough?
Yeah, it looks good.
Okay, so I have been commissioned by a gallery to send them some small originals. So this is the size that I'm going to be working on. So my piece is already covered with color. I don't predetermine what I'm going to paint. I just look at the colors and I move the piece of paper around to see if I can find an image. And when I find an image, sometimes I don't find an image, but when I do, that's how I start. So on this piece, there's really nothing popping out at me, but I do see something in the background that could be a female and something in the foreground that could be a child. So I am just going to work on that premise. So I have some color already laid out. So I'm just going to start here. Usually it's really quiet when I paint, and I'm not usually talking. I'm usually, really in deep thought. So Pancho probably will have to ask me some questions so I can communicate with y'all. So,
No, I'm gonna let you do your thing in your way, girl.
I said, he is so uncooperative. What is wrong with me?
I'm here for you,
He
Deborah.
says nothing. What is wrong with you?
I'm here for
So
you.
anyway, can you see? Yeah, you can see right. I'm using my small palette knife, and I'm just going to take any color that my mind is drawn to and mix that color. And that's like her garment, and I usually take my palette knife and give it some texture. Take a little red and a green, a little brown. And for the camera, I just laid some paint out. I usually just pick up my paint. You see, I never keep the tops on, so I have to dig the hard paint out to get the good paint to flow. So that's just one of my, what do you call it? Idiosyncrasies, is that a word? It's just something that I do. So if anybody has any questions, just put them in the chat. And hopefully we'll see the questions and we can answer. And I have all these, I think this was part of a pen to make like shapes. So I don't always use the palette knife. I use different objects to make different shapes. If I'm using a brush, it's usually to draw a line or to make a shape with it, not really to use the brush as a painting tool. Let's see. And nothing is really exact until I think I'm through with the work, and then I'll just tighten things up. But when I first start off, everything is really loose. And so you have to be until moment I think I'm through with the work, and then I'll just tighten things up. But when I first start off, everything is really, I'm listening to myself. And so you have to be until a point I think I'm through with that number, and then you just tighten things up. But when I first start off, everything is really, I'm listening to myself.
Deborah, do you have another device on?
Sorry about that.
Deborah, do you have another device on? Deborah, do you have another device on?
No.
Okay.
No, you hear me?
Yeah, but there's something playing in the background. Deborah, do you have another device on?
No, I don't have another device on.
Does somebody?
That's, you hear me talking.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I don't know what that's about.
Okay. Let's mute everybody. Okay.
So now I don't hear anything now.
Okay. I think we had to mute some people. Okay. Go ahead, Deborah.
Okay. So yeah, this has turned out to be a little girl in the foreground and a woman in the back. So I'm gonna have to use my finger. This is a little finger painting. Also, to smooth some stuff out. And these are called my mini originals. So the first one that I complete, we'll give this one away to somebody in the chat. So I guess the first person that asks for it is the first person that gets it.
I'm in the chat.
Well, I guess you did it. Yes, you got it. Is that Louise talking?
You know that's me, girl.
Who is me?
Louise. Oh, I can't take it. Look at Marla.
You don't count.
I look. Here she is. Stop it, Poncho. All right. Okay, here she is. She said me.
Marla, looks like Marla
Jackson.
Marla Jackson is the person who chimed in.
Oh, Kabibi, Kabibi too late. Kabibi too late. Sorry, Kabibi, you missed that one, girl.
Marla, looks like Marla Jackson is the person who chimed in.
Okay, so has Marla gotten any work from me before? Or has she seen my work before? Marla, have you seen the work before?
Let's see what she says.
Yes, no?
Oh, look what she says. I'll take the next one. Kim Knight. So she'll take. Marla hasn't said anything. Never. Oh, there she is. She says she's never. So praise God. Marla, got you a nice piece.
So Marla, can you put your mailing information in my Shedrick Studio? Well, just DM me. Just DM Shedrick Studio with your mailing information, and you got the first 2021 piece.
Oh, Poncho, I don't know why I couldn't get it.
Why are you even listening to him?
I know. Can I get the next one though? Because I really like that one.
Okay, y'all gotta remember, we have people that are watching that are supporting us, and we are the artists. So y'all can shop later.
I guess he told you.
You know what?
It's not always about you. See, they already believe that about artists anyway. We're trying to break stereotypes now.
I don't know, Poncho. I wasn't trying to break it. I was trying to hold on a little bit to my stereotype. Thank you.
Yeah, we talk to each other just like we're family, don't we?
There you go.
So
Poncho over here disciplining people.
I don't know why long to put in
All right. Oh, we passed our hour. I will sign in with you guys later.
In the corner, like the sun is shining on me all the time. So I'm that way. That's how I think, that the sun is just shining for me. So I always put a sun. I don't always, but the majority of times I put a sun in the painting.
Hey, Deborah, do me a favor. I know you're engulfed in the piece. Can you turn it upside down so that the audience can see it?
Oh, like this?
Yes, ma'am. Periodically turn it to the audience so they can see it. Thank you very much.
Does it look like anything yet?
Yes.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. I will definitely try to remember that part. So don't let me run over my time because I'll be good. Like, not considering anybody else has to be on, but this is what I do. Maybe 3 or 4 times out of the week.